There's a quiet kind of thief that slips into the lives of millions of people over 50. It doesn't come crashing in all at once. Instead, it steals in small, frustrating moments. The jar you can't open, the button you fumble with, the pen you put down because holding it too long makes your hand ache. This thief's name is arthritis, and while it may feel like it's stealing pieces of your independence, I want you to know something. You still have more power than you realize. I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Channel Wellness Blueprint Over 50. Today I want to share something simple, something real, that can begin to give you relief right away. You don't need a gym or gadgets, or even more than a few minutes. What you need is gentle movement, daily attention, and a willingness to believe in small victories that add up. I'll never forget a patient of mine named Helen. She was 71 when she came to see me, a retired teacher who loved quilting. But her hands, the same hands that once guided hundreds of children through handwriting lessons and stitched beautiful patterns into fabric, had begun to betray her. She told me, Dr. Brian, it feels like my fingers are turning into little locks, and I've lost the key. That's what arthritis does. It stiffens the very joints that give us freedom. But here's the truth. Movement is the key, not forceful movement, not punishing workouts, but simple, consistent, loving movement. And that's where the finger bends and extensions exercise comes in. Think of your fingers like hinges on a door. If that door stays closed for too long, the hinges rust, they squeak, they resist. But if you open and close it gently, day after day, the hinges stay oiled, the door glides more easily. Your joints work the same way. Inside them is a fluid, called synovial fluid, that acts like oil. It cushions, lubricates, and keeps the cartilage from grinding. But here's the catch. Your body only produces and circulates that fluid when you move. Stillness dries it up. That's why arthritis pain often feels worse in the morning or after sitting still. Movement, even small movement, wakes up the lubrication system. So how do we do it? Start by sitting comfortably in a chair. Rest your arm on your lap, palm facing up. Spread your fingers wide like you're waving hello to yourself. That gentle stretch alone can feel like a little sigh of relief. Now, one at a time, bend each finger slowly toward your palm. Begin with the index finger. Curl it in until the tip touches the base of your palm or as close as it can go without forcing. Hold it there for a breath, then release it back open. Move on to your middle finger, then your ring finger, and finally your pinky. Go slowly like you're moving through honey, feeling each joint glide as it bends and releases. After you've done each finger, gather them all together into a gentle fist. Not a hard squeeze, just soft, like you're holding a fragile bird in your hand. Your thumb rests over the fingers, not clenching, just keeping them safe. Hold that soft fist for a few seconds, then slowly release, stretching the fingers wide apart again. That opening stretch is like drawing fresh air into a stuffy room. Repeat this cycle 2 or 3 times, and you've already given your hands a workout that fights back against arthritis. Now here's where people sometimes get discouraged. They try it once, and their fingers still ache, so they think, well, that didn't work. But arthritis doesn't change in a day. The relief builds slowly, like drops filling a bucket. Helen, my patient, started doing this routine every morning while her tea steeped. After a few weeks, she came back and said, "My hands feel more like mine again." That's the kind of quiet victory we're aiming for. There's also science behind this. A study published in Arthritis Care and Research showed that patients who perform simple, daily hand exercises experience measurable improvements in function and grip strength within just 8 weeks. That's not just theory, that's proven benefit. And the beauty is, you don't need equipment or money, just your hands, your breath, and a little consistency. If you want to make it even more soothing, warm your hands first. Run them under warm water or wrap them in a towel fresh from the dryer. Warmth increases blood flow, softens tissues, and makes the movement smoother. Some people like to rub a bit of lavender or peppermint oil in as they stretch, turning it into a mini ritual of self-care. This exercise isn't only about mobility, it's about reclaiming confidence. When you move your fingers this way, you're sending yourself a message. I'm not powerless. I'm still capable. I'm still me. Every small bend is a quiet act of defiance against stiffness, and every extension is a step toward freedom. Arthritis may try to take your independence one button, one jar lid at a time, but you can fight back with movements as gentle as these. So when you sit down tomorrow morning with your coffee or tea, before you pick up the phone, before you even think about the day ahead, give your fingers this gift of bends and extensions. Let it become a rhythm in your life, like breathing, like walking, like greeting a friend. It won't just loosen your joints, it will loosen the hold that arthritis has on your spirit. There's a saying in medicine, you don't appreciate the importance of your thumb until it hurts. And isn't that true of life? We don't think twice about picking up a fork, fastening a button, or scrolling on a phone, until suddenly those small, everyday motions feel like climbing a mountain. One of my patients, Robert, a retired mechanic, once told me, "Doc, I fixed cars my whole life, but now I can't even grip a spoon." His frustration was heavy, not just because of the pain, but because of what it symbolized, losing a sense of independence. That's why I'm so passionate about this next exercise, often called the O to X. It looks almost like child's play, but it can bring powerful relief to the base of the thumb, one of the most common places arthritis likes to settle in. Here's the idea. Your thumb is like the lead dancer in a troupe. It partners with every finger, coordinates every grip, and gives your hand its strength. When arthritis strikes at the base joint, it's like the dancer twisting an ankle. Every move suffers. The O to X exercise is about gently training that dancer back to form, reminding the thumb it still knows the steps. Let's walk through it together. Hold your hand out comfortably in front of you, relaxed but awake. Now touch the tip of your thumb to the tip of your index finger, forming a soft O shape. Don't press hard. Think of it like a whisper, just enough to connect. Hold it for a few seconds, then release. Move to the middle finger, again forming that O, then the ring finger, then the pinky. Each touch is a gentle handshake between your thumb and its partners. You might feel a little stiffness at first, maybe even resistance. That's okay. Breathe through it. Imagine you're oiling the gears of a long-forgotten clock. Each turn brings more fluidity, more ease. After you've greeted each finger, it's time for the X. Stretch your thumb diagonally across your palm, reaching toward the base of your pinky. For some, the thumb might only make it halfway. That's perfectly fine. What matters is the attempt, the slow, patient stretch. Hold it for 5 to 10 seconds, breathing deeply, then gently release back to the starting position. That diagonal stretch is like opening a tight window. Awkward at first, but liberating once it moves. Now here's where consistency works its quiet magic. Doing this a few times a day, morning, evening, maybe once while watching TV, gradually rewires your thumb's strength and flexibility. Robert, the mechanic I mentioned, made it part of his evening routine. At first, he couldn't form much of an O at all. His thumb trembled, his hand felt clumsy. But 3 weeks later, he came into my office with a grin and said, "Doc, I ate soup with a spoon yesterday without thinking about it." That might not sound revolutionary, but for him, it was freedom returning. And science backs this up. A study from the Journal of Hand Therapy found that patients with thumb arthritis who practiced daily thumb opposition and stretching exercises reported significant reductions in pain and improved grip within a month. That's real evidence that such a simple movement can change your daily life. You can enhance the comfort of this exercise by warming your hands first. Soak them in warm water, hold a cup of tea, or wrap them in a towel. Warmth softens the tissues and makes each O and X smoother. And if you enjoy essential oils, massaging a drop of eucalyptus or lavender into the base of your thumb afterward can add a soothing ritual to the practice. But beyond the science, let's talk about the heart of it. When arthritis hits, it's not just the thumb joint that suffers. It's the spirit. We feel small losses piling up, like death by 1,000 cuts. Can't grip a steering wheel. Can't twist a jar lid. Can't fasten a necklace clasp. Each loss whispers, "You're not who you used to be." But with this exercise, you start writing a new story. Each O says, "I'm still connected." Each X says, "I can still reach." It's more than stretching. It's reclaiming confidence one motion at a time. So tomorrow morning when you sit down with your newspaper or tablet, let your thumb greet each finger one by one. Form those O's gently and then let it stretch into the X, even if just a little further than yesterday. Over time, those small movements add up, and you may just surprise yourself one day when you grip a coffee mug or turn a doorknob without wincing. That's the promise of the O2X exercise. Not instant perfection, but steady, healing progress. When most people think of arthritis in the hands, they picture stiff fingers or aching knuckles. But one of the silent troublemakers is the wrist. It's easy to forget just how much that small joint carries, literally. Every time you pour a cup of coffee, type a message, or lift a grocery bag, your wrist is the bridge making it possible. When arthritis creeps into that bridge, the whole structure feels shaky. A patient of mine named Maria, a former pianist, told me she felt like her hands had lost their foundation. It's not just my fingers, Dr. Brian. It's like my wrist refused to support me. And she was right. The wrist is the anchor of so many daily actions. That's why this combination of wrist stretch and fist squeeze can be such a game changer. Picture your wrist like the hinge of a gate. If that hinge is tight, rusty, or weak, the gate wobbles every time it moves. Strength alone won't fix it. Stretching alone won't fix it. But when you combine flexibility with gentle strengthening, you restore both flow and stability. That's exactly what this routine does. It lengthens, it strengthens, and it brings balance back to a joint that's often overlooked. Let's start with the stretch. Sit comfortably and extend one arm out in front of you, palm facing down. With your other hand, gently pull the fingers back toward you until you feel a light stretch along the wrist and into the forearm. Don't yank, don't force. Think of it like coaxing a tight knot to loosen. Hold it there for 10 to 15 seconds while breathing slowly. Inhale calm, exhale tension, then release. Switch to the other hand and repeat. This simple stretch creates space inside the wrist, space for circulation, for fluid to move, for tight tendons to ease. Once you've stretched, it's time for the squeeze. Open your hand wide, then slowly curl your fingers into a soft fist. Not a hard punch, but a gentle grip, as though you're holding a cotton ball or a small sponge. Wrap your thumb across the outside like a warm blanket. Hold the fist for a few seconds, then slowly release, spreading the fingers wide. Repeat this 5 to 10 times. Each squeeze is like pumping fresh energy into the tiny muscles and ligaments that arthritis loves to weaken. Each release is like letting go of stiffness, letting go of strain. Maria, the pianist I mentioned, started doing this exercise twice a day, once in the morning to ease her stiff wrists, and once at night to calm the ache from daily tasks. At first, she doubted it. How could something so small make a difference? But after a month, she told me she was able to play a simple melody again on her piano, something she hadn't done in years without pain. Her smile when she said that told me everything. Sometimes healing begins not with medicine, but with motion. If you want to take it one step further, you can add a soft foam ball or therapeutic putty to your fist squeezes. That little resistance builds strength faster, but even without it, the motion is deeply effective. And if you prepare beforehand by soaking your wrists in warm water or wrapping them in a towel from the dryer, you'll find the stretches smoother, the squeezes easier. Warmth is like opening the blinds in a dark room. It lets the light in, prepares the space for movement. Studies support this too. Research in the Journal of Orthopedic and Sports Physical Therapy has shown that consistent hand and wrist exercises not only reduce stiffness, but improve overall grip strength, leading to more independence in daily activities. Think about that. Something as simple as stretching and squeezing could mean the difference between struggling with a jar lid or opening it with confidence. But beyond the mechanics, let's talk about what this means for your life. Arthritis can make you feel fragile, like your body is slowly turning against you. But every time you stretch your wrist, every time you form that gentle fist, you're sending a message. I am not giving up. I am working with my body, not against it. It's not a fight, it's a partnership. And in that partnership, small acts build resilience. So the next time you're sitting quietly, watching TV, waiting for water to boil, or listening to music, take a moment for your wrists. Stretch them, squeeze them, breathe with them. Imagine you're strengthening the bridge that holds up your hands, securing it against the wear and tear of time. It's not about becoming perfect or pain-free overnight. It's about finding those quiet victories, reaching into a cupboard without wincing, holding your grandchild's hand without strain, or like Maria, playing a simple tune and feeling joy rush back. The wrist stretch and fist squeeze remind us that healing is often found in the smallest of movements, repeated faithfully, with patience and hope. And over time, those movements become declarations of strength. I am still capable. I am still healing. I am still me. We've walked together through three simple yet powerful exercises: finger bends and extensions, thumb touches, and the wrist stretch with fist squeeze. None require fancy equipment, only your hands, your breath, and your willingness to try. Remember, consistency matters more than perfection. Even small, steady efforts can unlock real relief and restore confidence in daily life. Each movement is an act of self-care, a reminder that your body still responds to kindness and attention. So start today, repeat tomorrow, and trust the process. You are stronger than arthritis, and every small victory whispers, "You've got this."